Humans have a propensity to take pride in being at the top of the food chain to an unhealthy degree. We never stop to think about what makes us the most intellectual animals on the earth, yet we take it for granted that humans are. Without their specialized intelligence, many species just couldn't survive. Many animals can explore their area securely and get food by remembering pathways and landmarks. To avoid becoming a meal themselves, some people must learn how to evade and outsmart predators. Additionally, a surprising number of animals exhibit emotional intelligence. Discover the top 10 intelligent animals in the world by watching the entire movie. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Rats have been employed by scientists as laboratory study animals for many years, and this is not a coincidence. The brain structure and how their minds work are quite similar to humans, despite the fact that their brains are little and somewhat underdeveloped. They are able to navigate mazes, memorize routes, and carry out challenging multi-step activities. Rats are sociable creatures as well. They start to display symptoms of despair and loneliness when left alone. Because of these psychological and social variations, rats are among the most intelligent creatures. Ironically, pigeons, who are next on our list, are sometimes referred to as flying rats. However, the justifications for their placement here varied greatly. Pigeons have demonstrated the ability to recognize their own reflection, demonstrating a sophisticated level of self-awareness. They have the capacity to remember individual persons and locations over the course of months or even years. Pigeons have been used to deliver messages across enormous distances for millennia precisely because of this memory. Pigeons are able to recognize every letter in the English alphabet, as well as the differences between two humans in photos. Similar to pigeons, crows are another extremely intelligent animal species that have served as messengers. When engaged in conflict with other animals, they are able to use complex group tactics such as flanking maneuvers. Crows have an excellent memory and can learn to speak. Crows have been observed changing their migration routes to avoid hazardous places, according to researchers. Crows have even been observed memorizing garbage routes and timings in an effort to more successfully steal a fast snack off the trucks. Crows are the bird species with the greatest brains, and they have demonstrated the ability to recognize human faces. Despite obviously lacking hands and arms, they can also utilize tools. In fact, the New Caledonian crow can construct a knife to more readily remove leaves and grass. The same species also use a hook and line to access food sources that are out of reach. When it came to our selection of the 10 brightest animals, pigs only barely beat out dogs. Pigs have an IQ level far greater than that of dogs, which is similar to that of a young child. At just 6 weeks old, they can comprehend the idea of reflection, but human infants cannot do so until they are several months old. Pigs can communicate with one another using around 20 distinct sounds, and mothers sing to their young ones as they eat. Pigs react to emotion and, when appropriate, even display empathy, which is a very uncommon quality in the animal kingdom. Our ranking of the most intellectual creatures in the world only includes the octopus. You might be wondering how smart an octopus is considering it's the only one of its kind featured here. Captive octopuses have been recorded employing high-order planning and several stages to escape from confinement, and some are able to purposely splash water repeatedly upon items even outside of their tank to do harm. They have even been known to toss pebbles at glass and open jars with screw-on lids. These cephalopods are quite intelligent. They pose as boulders in the nature so they may move undetected. Octopuses move very slowly when imitating rocks, giving the impression that they are stationary by keeping pace with the water. When predators are present, they can move around unnoticed because of this. Utilizing both long-term and short-term memory, octopuses can also solve puzzles and navigate mazes. This facilitates them returning to their dens even after lengthy trips in their natural environment. The African grey parrot tops this list of the smartest creatures among birds. These parrots, who are thought to be as intelligent as a 5-year-old human, are able to acquire human speech and have an incredibly wide vocabulary, up to hundreds of words. Additionally, African greys are capable of learning the links between bigger and smaller, different and similar, over and under, and recognize and distinguish shapes and colors. The African grey parrot is a common pet that is domesticated all over the world, yet it is originally from the Central African rainforests. Elephants are among the brightest animals and are regularly mentioned for their excellent memory. These creatures have a complex social structure, and it has been observed that they lament their losses and participate in burial rites for deceased family members. Elephants also employ tools and self-medicate. They will consume the leaves of specific plants to treat ailments and even trigger labor. They are also among the rare creatures that exhibit altruism. The majority of animals are incapable of processing the abstract thought necessary for such behaviors. Elephants will make the ultimate sacrifice if they think it would help the remainder of the herd or their young get away to safety. On this list of the smartest animals, our closest genetic relative comes in third. Chimpanzees originate from sub-Saharan Africa and share 98% of our DNA. Chimpanzees are skilled tool users, and it has been observed that they improvise tools from accessible materials to create the things they require. These big apes also employ psychological strategies. They will influence members of their own families to carry out particular activities. One unusual aspect about chimpanzees is that adults from a family unit were found to be teaching their children sign language. The most intriguing aspect of that revelation is that there was no human assistance or encouragement at all. The chimpanzees taught the kids sign language on their own initiative and were using it to communicate among the group. The bottlenose dolphin is frequently regarded as the most intelligent mammal, however it comes in second on this list. How perceptive are dolphins? Since there are more than 8 different species of dolphins, only the bottlenose dolphin was considered for this article. They are the only dolphins without fused cervical vertebrae, which allows them to nod their heads in a manner like that of a human, and they have the biggest brains of all their cousins. Dolphins can recognize themselves in mirrors, identify strange blemishes on their bodies in a reflection, recognize images on television, and have an amazing memory in addition to being easily trainable. Dolphins have retained calls from a mate even after more than 20 years apart. The bottlenose dolphin ranks highly on this list for 2 astounding reasons that are genuinely astounding. They speak a language unique to their species, but when they come across other dolphin species, they convert to a common language to converse. They have even been seen working together to hunt with people and fake killer whales. The reason why orangutans are ranked top in this list is really intriguing. The orangutan is able to utilize tools, acquire sign language, and have intricate social systems with rituals, just like chimpanzees. Their cognitive capacity to comprehend the why, or the logic, underlying a certain behavior is what actually distinguishes them. An orangutan has learned how to use tools and put together a straightforward structure while in captivity. When scientists freed him into the wild, they saw the same orangutan making his own tools out of everything he could find and building a similar house to protect himself from the rain. Given that orangutans and humans share almost 97% of their DNA, it should come as no surprise that they are very intelligent. When compared to other animal species, their usage of tools is of the greatest caliber. Orangutans have even learned to use a hose to siphon liquids, and they may be taught to wield a hammer and nails. They are native to Indonesia, but tragically, habitat degradation has made them extremely endangered. Which one of these creatures has your interest the most? Please remark on it in writing. Don't forget to like the video and be a subscriber to the channel. Goodbye.